So
Yeah.
trying to put myself out of business, basically.
Yeah. Which is truly the goal of a good holistic consultant.
Yeah.
Is to get there. And so you probably work on pretty much any capacity that drives innovation in the business, from finding the right people to finding the right ideas. How does that process really work on kind of a day-to-day, maybe on the collaboration aspect, like finding where the targets are and really evaluating the business as it is now?
Yeah, it's as you said, it kind of varies, but there's always, there's always some commonality, some kind of general rules of thumb. Um, and the first thing is always like, okay, well, what do we need the innovation to deliver? A lot of people shy away from putting a number on it, and like, let's just be honest, like business is about numbers. And so instead of trying to ignore that fact, let's embrace it. Let's acknowledge it. Let's put a number on it and work towards that. The second thing is making sure, again, before you even start looking, what is going to support the business strategy. And that's, in a lot of ways, looking at those two things are kind of where the idea for being a navigator comes from, is because like you don't set off on a journey and be like, I don't know, I got a backpack, and then like walk out the door and see what happens, which is what a lot of people do with innovation. Like, we need to be innovative, let's go innovate. And then like, okay, why?
Totally.
And it's starting off with like, okay, where do we want to go? There's lots of different ways to get there. So what are the ways that are consistent with what we need to achieve? And it's not a straight line. It's not something that can be 100% predicted. If it were, it's not innovation, but it's also not chaos, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, if we're, I was working years ago with a publisher, and we were trying to say, they're like, we need to grow. Okay, great. You need to grow. Where aren't you willing to go? They're like, no, we're willing to do anything. I'm like, okay, so you're going to open a store. And they're like, no, why would we open a store? I'm like, okay, well, that's something that you are not going to do. And that is great, because now it means that we won't focus on that. When we go out and look at what the opportunities are, if opening a store emerges as a possibility, we can say, no, we're not going to do that, and focus on things that are more likely to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and from the outside, you see a lot of corporate innovation programs that seem to just go in circles. And, it's not as easy as just going out and throwing money at the problem.